Welcome to another episode of Streetpreneur Podcast, the podcast for innovative entrepreneurs. I'm Melvin McNeil and I'm your host. Each week we have real conversation with entrepreneurs, small business owners, and executives. And today I have a very special guest all the way from Houston, Texas. I want to welcome Bulletproof Entrepreneurs. Welcome to Streetpreneur Podcast.
Thank you. Absolutely. Myla, one half of the Bulletproof Entrepreneur.
T. Anthony Money.
And tell us today what got you guys in the Atlanta area today. I know you're on a promotional tour right now, and a lot of people need your services. Just kind of tell the general public a little bit about what it is that you do.
Well, right now we're on a podcast tour. We're on the Hustle Up podcast tour with the Bulletproof Entrepreneurs. We actually on the last leg of the tour, so we got I think 6 shows left. We here on your show today, and then we got 5 more shows to do by Sunday. So we moving. We help a lot of people. Whether you're starting a brand new business, whether you got a hobby, or even if you got a business that you want to scale. This is what the Bulletproof Entrepreneur platform is for. I've been doing this for a while, about 10, 15 years, business coaching, marketing and promotion, and, just, watching people, businesses fail just because they didn't know that, hey, if I can get a 700 credit score, get some funding, I will be able to really build my business and scale it. But we teach people from the beginning, foundation, how to get your personal and business credit together, get the funding, marketing and promotion, and to scale your business.
Okay. And Myla, you tell us a little bit about your background and how did you
Absolutely.
start your entrepreneur journey?
Absolutely. The first thing that's into the Bulletproof Entrepreneur that I bring to it is the
Okay.
mindset mastery because what I've learned is it's a shift in your mindset that you put action behind, and
Right.
sometimes we're up underneath limited beliefs and things that our parents or our parents' have taught us that we don't think that we deserve. So, um, and I teach that based off of the things that I've overcame.
Okay.
So I had to overcome those things. But my first entrepreneur journey was healthcare, and that was a non-medical home care agency where we took care of development and disability adults
Okay.
and elderly adults. And I rocked at that business. I had a
Okay.
partnership,
Yeah.
3 young women. We rocked, and as
Mm-hmm.
business, you rise and fall, and we didn't have consultants. So
Mm-hmm.
decided I wanted to become the consultant that we never had.
Right.
So I started consulting people, and then I really didn't know how to structure that or
Okay.
organize that, and then even branded myself.
Yeah.
So I had a moment of time where I was with my big cousin, T. Anthony Money,
Okay.
and I ran away because I was scared. He moved to Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
and I was in Ohio, and I was scared. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do something little,
Mm-hmm.
which was the home care, and the home care actually branched off
That's
to something
that's
big.
actually
But
big.
he
Right.
already had these big
Mm-hmm.
dreams. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna do this, and I ran. So
Okay.
um, I reached back out to him and was like, now I think I wanna take this another,
Reconnecting.
yeah,
Take
another
it to the
step.
next level.
And
Yeah.
he said, I always told you you had it in you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. So
And
we
just
here.
okay. And just what are some of the common mistakes or challenges that you see new entrepreneurs making in business when they're trying to get started?
Um, some of the things I see that a lot of people make is they stop before they even get started. They got the idea, they start, promoting a little bit on social media,
Mm-hmm.
but they just don't have the guidance. I tell people all the time, when you start a new business, you're going to need somebody that's professional, a mentor, a coach to guide you through every step of the way. And most people, they just either don't want to pay for the coach or they don't want to reach out to people in their own neighborhoods and say, hey, can I shadow you? Can you get some advice from them? They want to do everything on their own, and we know you can't do nothing on your own. It's gonna take a team to build something big. So I think that people should really focus on, okay, here's my goal. In 6 months, this is where I want to be. In 12 months, this is where I want to be. Okay, these are the things I need to put in place to get to the first 6 months. Versus me taking 5,000 out my savings, starting a business with no guidance. So I feel like a lot of people do that, not even knowing that, you can get some money to build your business,
Mm-hmm.
versus spending your own paycheck.
Yeah. Let's touch on business credit. Myla, in your opinion, what is the difference between personal and business credit, and why does it matter for entrepreneurs? A lot of people might have a 600 credit score, but they don't understand how to utilize the business credit on that end.
So when you have a business, if you, because the first thing you're going to need is to fix your personal
Personal
credit.
credit,
Because
yeah.
they're going to always look into that. They want to know who's responsible on that side. However, you can have several different businesses, and you're just that one PG. So I can have 3 or 4 standalone businesses and get business credit individually for each business. So that's one way just to leverage it. Like if you got a LLC that's just underneath music and then one that's underneath magazine, and the money is going to those 2 different businesses. So you can leverage it is one way that I think that people aren't
Okay.
sure of, or when they strain in their own credit, they might get a $10,000 personal credit card, but it's best to have a $10,000 credit card for each business.
Okay. And just getting back into funding options that are available, which funding options right now currently that you have utilized for entrepreneurs that you're counseling right now?
Funding options, you can do a few things. You can do credit card stacking.
Mm-hmm.
You can use institutionals like, local banks or major banks. Or, I tell a lot of people go through the credit union route. Go to become a member of your credit union or any credit union in your area and utilize them, because a lot of times it's easier to get money from credit unions than it is to go to a traditional bank.
True.
You could have a 620 credit score and go into a credit union if you built a relationship with them, and they'll give you some money. But you have a 620 credit score trying to go to the big ones, Bank of America, Chase, and them, they're going to turn you right back around. So those are just some of the strategies that, we use even when you first come in. Let's say, okay, you don't have any business credit. You haven't even started the business credit profile or anything. I still can use your personal credit and gonna get you some money right now until we build your business profile. And then we turn back around and go get the money from the business profile, pay the other loan off on the personal, and use that strategy to help you, get some money now, pay some stuff off, get your utilization down. So when it's time to do the business funding, you ain't got that problem.
Yeah.
So
Something else you mentioned, Keith, I want to touch on when you said credit stacking. Explain to them, what does that mean?
what I mean, if you got, let's say you got a business, right? Let's use my business. Let's say I get I got 3 different reports: TransUnion, Equifax,
Yeah.
and Experian. So maybe right now my TransUnion is the best looking credit report, so I'm gonna get you everything on your TransUnion. So you got $100,000 in funding on everybody who used TransUnion. Now let's go to Equifax. Now let's see. Now we got your Equifax score up, and by the way, we're gonna help you get your personal credit up so that you can make this happen. We go to Equifax, and we use every institution that use Equifax. We're gonna run them up, and then we're gonna do the same thing with Experian. So you're able to stack versus just saying, I'm just all over the place applying for credit cards and stuff. No, it's a strategy, and you need to know the strategy and the system before you start applying for stuff.
Okay. And what are some of just tell us, Myla, 3 or 4 steps that they need in order to become funding ready? A lot of people don't know what that means. They just apply for it, and to get denied,
They
they
got to
get
become
upset and don't
bankable.
know why they received the denial. So
So
just kind of
absolutely, like you
explain that.
said, bankable. So the first thing is structuring. Structuring is having a
Okay.
brandable name,
Okay.
having a DUNS number, that's in the business world, having a LLC, having a EIN,
Okay.
a website,
Mm-hmm.
a virtual address, a phone number. And then we go and move over to your credit profile. So those are the first fundamentals of structuring the business to even be set up correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And then now, okay, your business set up correctly, but you got a 420 credit score.
That's
So
true.
now we got to figure out how to bring that up.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some personal guaranteed credit cards that you can get as you bringing them up, but maybe a Sam's Club card or something like that. But you
Okay.
really want to bring the credit score up.
Okay.
If you got high utilization, you may want to take out a personal loan or a bridge loan to bring that credit score up. You know what I'm saying? To pay off some of your stuff.
Okay. Let's talk about scaling a business. I know you all work with different clients. When do you recommend, or how do you know when it's time to scale a business?
When you've been making the same, money or revenue, for, quite a long time, like say if your business is doing $20,000 a month, and you say, okay, well, what the projections look like? Well, this year we're going to do 120,000, or 240,000 in revenue this year. Now we want to scale the business to doing 50,000 a month. So it's certain things and things you got to put in place and change. Like we was talking to the young lady, who even filming the show, and she's like, "Yeah, I just now started, really marketing myself." Well, she wouldn't be making the same money that she would be making now, because if she start marketing and marketing herself and getting it out there, more people are going to want to know what she got. Now she can offer different services. She can take whatever stream she's using right now, and she can add other streams within the same niche that she's already doing. So like if you own a building and you got a podcast studio, well, now you could turn that into a content creation place, and you don't have to just do podcasts. You could do other content creating things, and now that's going to increase the revenue. So it's going to start when you're ready. If you're tired of making $20,000 a month, you want to go into making $50,000 a month. These are the things that you got to implement to get there, and that's what scaling is. Even with us, we started, as in the beginning, real small, and making our first 10 or 20,000. Then we want to go ahead and scale it to 50,000. Well, now we got to bring in, you got to get you a funnel. You got to do this. It's certain things that you have to do to put in place to scale your business. You want to start marketing and promoting. Well, we're on a full podcast tour. More people know us now than they knew us 6 months ago. So that's a part of the scaling process too. It's not just going in there saying you want to make extra money, which I know a lot of the gurus teach that, but that's not what it is. It's about adding extra streams to what you're already doing, implementing new systems, and marketing and promoting yourself in a way that you're building a real brand. That's how you scale your business.
Yeah, Myla, let's talk about branding. I know you brand.
Brandon person.
Well, hey, I want to hear both of y'all input on branding.
I'm a good.
I want to hear both opinions. So,
Okay.
branding. I know you work with a lot of clients and you do a lot of consultations for a lot of entrepreneurs. So let's talk about the importance of branding. Why is it important today in such an oversaturated market right now? As far as social media, and so many different outlets and platforms.
Well, you
It's
want to
kind
be
of
memorable,
All right.
likable. I mean, McDonald's.
Yeah.
We know McDonald's from the arch, and the golden arch.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
All right.
you got to be memorable. You can't. Sometimes I know people like my grandmother's name is Edith. I
Okay.
don't know if Edith Healthcare would have been
The
a good
proper
brandable name.
That's true.
I'm sure by heart I would have probably got some people in there, but I don't know if people would have been saying, "Hey, go to Edith's Healthcare."
Yeah.
So that's one way. Brandable, just having a website. Sometimes I don't even have anything to look at, and a lot of times we in this era of I want to see reviews. I want to see if it's some color sticking at me. I want to know, like, sometimes before I even got into this space, I used to have people make my website, and I didn't have a lot of say so. So a lot of times, who would be on a website would be people that didn't look like me.
Right.
So now I got this website, and when somebody come and look at me, and they like, oh, and I'm like, oh no, it gotta be
change
diverse on
this.
that website
Yeah.
because we're tricking them,
Yeah.
and I don't want that.
Right.
So
Right.
those are some brand keys that I've learned, throughout the way.
Okay. Your take on it.
Well, for me, for branding, it's about becoming an authority in your niche. What you can't become the expert or authority in your niche and don't nobody even know who you are.
Okay.
You can have all the degrees from Harvard, Yale, Howard, Spelman, whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't know who you are. So when you come and try to sell me a product, I might go to somebody that got a big brand that I know, even though your product is better than theirs. But their brand is what sold me. So I say branding is the most important key factor in building a big business. It may not happen when you're small, but as you grow in business, you're going to have to get the name out there, whether it's the business name or you branding yourself or you becoming the brand. It has to be done in a way that people can attach themselves to what you're doing and say, you know what, I believe he or she is the expert in this field, and this is the person that I want to roll with.
Okay. And when it comes to branding mistakes, what are some of the things that you've seen that entrepreneurs make? Just a couple that you
The
see.
mistakes I see a lot of people doing is they like to do things that they don't have gifts in. So if you a person,
Explain that.
let me explain. So if you're a person that you know you're not a good graphic artist, why are you sitting there every day making flyers and making, stuff that it just, I can tell as the person who wants to buy something from you that is just not ready.
Okay.
You got to make sure your brand, you got to respect your brand and know that, hey, I'm branding myself as a professional. So you got to have marketing dollars. So if you got a little bit of money, take $200 and put it into your marketing dollars. Hire you a graphic artist, let them do your flyers. If you're not good at social media, get somebody off one of those sites, Fiverr or something to help you do it. You're going to spend a little money. Everything ain't going to be free. And just because you can work a Canva, you're not a graphic artist, So
Yeah, yeah.
I tell people all the time, it's okay in the beginning stages, but once you say I'm ready to make some money and I'm ready to put myself out there, let's get a little bit of money, some marketing dollars, and put it into your brand and let the experts do it so you can focus on what you're good at.
Okay.
That's
We know.
a true statement because
Yeah.
like one of my things is just get started.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing is, and I told my mom the other day, I said what I've learned that I'll do different is every time I make some money, I'll start putting it where it need to be,
Yeah.
not saying
true.
this is what I'm making.
Right.
So now if I know I need a ad administrator or whatever, and if I made these thousands of dollars, okay, now I'm putting a person in place, and this job is for them, so I don't have to worry about that job. And eventually, it's going to bring me more money instead of saying, okay, I made $10,000 and now it's mine. Like, let me just dish it back out so that I can free myself.
Right. Let's touch on automation. What are some of the automation services that you recommend,
I
or
recommend
programs or apps that you use that kind of help your business streamline everything, keep it in order?
It really depends on
CRM
what you're doing. That's what I say. I think it depends on what you're doing. If I'm doing music, and I'm an artist, I don't need a CRM system like in the beginning. What I need to be doing is putting my music together, making sure packaging it the way I want it to package, to put it out there, start me a YouTube account, and start operating that way. It's already stuff out there that you can use before you start paying for stuff. Now, if you're somebody like us, who we don't live in New York, we don't live in Hawaii, we don't live in other states, we live in a certain place and we can only operate locally. We go on social media, but we want to go more national. Then we bring in systems and stuff like, a CRM system, a funnel, different things that's going to push us out into, the atmosphere. And I'm telling you now, this stuff is expensive. That's why I tell people utilize everything that you can in the beginning that is free, like your YouTubes, your Facebook, Instagram, any social media platform, and use that to its fullest capability until you get to those next levels. But don't go out there today saying you want a big business and you just getting started and start paying for systems. You don't even have anything to offer those people yet.
And
So
very expensive.
yeah, and it takes a lot of work.
give you a headache.
Yeah, trying to
It'll
learn
give
and
you a
keep up.
headache.
Let's talk about AI. Have you all been utilizing
Love
AI?
Oh yeah,
Your business
we've
or
really been on
just
AI since 2023. I remember when it first came out and she was telling me about it. And I said I don't want to be bothered with that because I didn't really know what it was back then. But I just eventually one day got on it and started doing it. Now I know how to prompt it like it's me. It talks just like me.
yeah?
So I mean, I urge people, while you're scared of it, don't be scared. You better get on it because in the next 2 or 3 years, that's all this is going to be.
So, which programs do you recommend to your clients?
All different ones.
GPT mostly.
Start with chat,
Right.
on GPT. Start. If you get the free one, you won't get as much out of it. I'm a business, so I pay for the $20 a month,
Yeah.
right? And I use it for different things. But it's other apps out there that you can use. That's also AI, but you got to figure out which one works best for you. Even in the podcast, I tell people now, you sitting there editing your podcast, it's a whole software to edit it for you in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So you use AI to do stuff to give you back your time. You don't use AI to be your source of everything. Like if you're writing your mom a letter, why are you putting that in Chat GPT? That's supposed to come from you. You a human.
Right. It's
Yeah.
personal.
So use it for what it's really supposed to be for, and not for frivolous stuff that you just being lazy. Don't let AI make you lazy. You know.
Okay.
And we can feel it. It's some prompts that your daughter would never say dive into or delve, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just some stuff that
It's
it
authentic. You can
does,
tell
and
it's
you
not
like
authentic.
this
Yeah.
came from
Chat,
the AI
yeah.
generator, but
Okay.
and all of the systems are actually doing plugins, whether that's Canva.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I just seen. I asked him. I don't know if he played with his phone, but our phones have AI
They
plugged in.
do.
It's
It does.
telling me
It does.
what to say to you
Meta,
now.
meta.
Uh huh.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
they asked me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's coming in everywhere slowly, whether people are noticing it or using it properly or not. But it's coming in, so it's on everything. It's on
It,
in my emails telling me how
right,
to answer an
right.
email.
Everything we
You
do in
know,
life.
yeah.
Right.
So it's a part of us, and I would encourage people that the way that we learn from school and stuff from the textbooks is now we need to learn how to properly prompt it to push out what we're trying to
Well,
get.
you better be careful because people they're making people fearful because they're saying you're gonna lose your jobs. No, it's not that AI is gonna take over your job. You need to find a job in AI, like because they still gonna need people to do certain stuff in AI. So learn some different skills. If you got a job to where you say, okay, I'm a nail tech, just know in 10 years that won't even be a thing anymore. It'll be a machine doing your nails and all that stuff. So get behind that now and start figuring out what I need to do with this machine. How do I invest in this machine? See, you got to start thinking ahead. Only people gonna lose is the people who want to lose. Everybody else, we
That's true.
thinking,
That's true.
oh no, okay, they bringing this out right here. Okay, how many stocks can I buy? And you got to start getting real shifty with the way you think instead of being so old school, still stuck in the 90s, thinking that, oh, I'll just get me another job. Those jobs won't be there anymore.
Won't be there.
You're going to have to invest in those things that they got the robots and stuff doing. You're going to have to be behind that. So I tell people all the time, like, don't be in fear of no job because realistically, none of y'all want no job anyway. So quit acting like you in fear of them taking that job you hate,
Yeah.
but get in front of it, figuring out what's
Work
going
with
on.
it.
Yeah. And then use the skills that God gave you. He gave all of us gifts and skills.
Yeah.
Use them.
That's true. That's true.
And fix those things. Like AI is the digital part of us. So very soon after we create all this stuff, we digital. So
Yeah, we are.
I can send you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm about to send you my message.
Man, yeah, they're gonna be dating fake people in a minute.
Yeah, they
You're
are.
gonna be sitting there all day on the phone with a fake person that's not real in a minute. That's why I tell people you got to get ahead of that kind of stuff. Like, really focus on where you want to go in life because it's changing so fast. We living in the best age ever in human history. So take advantage of what's happening around you and don't wait 5 years from now saying, I was so scared to use AI. Now it's like our parents was in the 90s when we was the first generation to really use computers. They were scared of them because it was just a new technology. But you see, as kids, we used to show them how to do everything.
Yeah, to change.
And then the people who couldn't do it, guess
Level
what?
up.
They went into the low end jobs. They didn't move with the rest of the people, and that's what's happening now.
Right. Do you think that it will affect business communication and how we communicate with each other? I know it's already taking place.
Absolutely.
It's gonna go to a
Once
even
once
greater
it
level.
once they start, having these, they got technology now to where it can read your mind. It could be conscious as you. That's what they're doing now. So now,
Is that a good thing or a bad? I mean, it can go either way.
I mean, if you got a system that I think as humans we're gonna keep on, evolving into different stuff. We just got to be ready for it. But they'll be able to have a system to where even your memory or it could speak before you speak. You could tell whatever your thing is. It's in your brain, so without you talking, it can already tell people. So that's what I'm telling people now. Like, don't be afraid of that stuff. Get going because it's going to happen.
It's gonna. There's no way
Show
around
us
it. Yeah.
everything in
They-
Black Mirror.
Yeah,
They do. They do.
you know.
Show us everything in Black Mirror.
Yeah. Let's kind of touch on your academy. We know that you have a school community and it helps a lot of entrepreneurs out.
Yeah.
Just tell us a little bit about the services that are offered in the community and just the overall daily operations of it.
Absolutely. So in the community, we got a bunch of services that will help you leverage. So one of our modules is again the mindset mastery module, and that's just to help people get through the things that limit them. And then I provide a phone call for people once a week to get them through that, to let them be a voice.
Okay.
The other module is helping them. You can do it yourself credit repair all on your own if you want to. If you don't want to go through a done for you, which our done for you credit repair is very, very reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
It's $149 to get started. But if sometimes people say I can do it myself. You can. So that's all in there.
Okay.
All the letters, all the steps on how to get that done, and all the credit building apps
So
to build
right.
your credit.
So what's included in the 149? I'm sure that'd be number one question they want to know.
You're gonna get you're gonna get your credit restored. So we'll look at everything. We'll do a full analysis, see where the problems are in your credit, start the process for you, get those dispute letters out, making sure the dispute letters are very aggressive, and they're following the law. We know right now with Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion all have lawsuits about reporting the wrong errors on people's credit, which, in consumer law, anything that's negative, erroneous, or, not really true about your credit report has to be removed no matter whether you owe it or not. And, we don't care whether you owe the debt or not. We just want to know, did they legally put the stuff on your credit? And if they didn't, we want to help you exercise your rights. So you get all that in the credit restoration. You're going to have your own portal. You can see what's happening. You'll have your own credit monitoring system where you know what's coming off, you know how to increase, and we also give you tips and give you things on how to add different trade lines to increase the score while it's being fixed.
Okay. And what's another valuable services that the community offers?
Business credit, branding.
That's the number. Okay.
Digital.
All right.
I mean,
All right.
anybody want to learn how to make a digital product in 7 days? We
Yeah.
have the templates in the community, the instructions of.
Okay.
Most people say, okay, I can create an ebook, but they don't know where to sell it. So there's instructions of what platform you will use to upload that ebook on, or upload, your course on, or any of that stuff.
Because I recently saw a webinar online where a young lady was teaching how Chat GPT writes the ebook for you.
Yeah.
You just put it in a PDF and then you download it, and there's your book. Do you recommend that? Or does that take away from?
More steps.
It's some more steps to it.
That's
Listen
a
to mom.
start.
Right.
That's a start, but I highly
She
don't
was
recommend.
telling people how to cut the corners with it without having.
Yeah, and she probably got a good system.
She
I'm
got
not
a good
gonna
system.
I'm not gonna take her out, what she's doing, but I really wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend brand new people doing an ebook. It's a system to where you can buy the rights to ebooks that's already written,
And we got that in there.
and we got that in there for you for free.
Right.
And you go in that system, you pull out whatever
The title that you.
the title, the whole book is already written.
Oh, okay.
But if you're thinking about selling it, because let's face it, you
Who
guys
owns the right to that?
you guys are not authors. You're not an author. So why are you trying to write a book?
All right.
You want to go in the system, you pull out the book or the information that you need, and now you can brand it in yourself. You can have a title, this and that, but you have the rights. Most books that you buy on Amazon, all those are bought in rights. Those are not people actually writing books.
Okay.
So you want to buy the rights, and then now we can get it done faster. You got the book, you got with T. Anthony money, he helped you design the cover. Right. Now we're going to put it out there. We're going to put you in the system where you can sell the book, and now put a few ads behind it and promote it.
Okay. And what would that cost?
You are already in the community.
So, okay.
You're already in the community.
That's $49 too.
Now of course we're not gonna pay to market your book, but the whole setup and everything is in the community for you already for $49. And you get a free coaching call every Sunday. Coaching is expensive out here, but you get to be coached by industry experts every single solitary Sunday for $49.
Okay, wonderful. Y'all make sure you just heard what they both said. This is a wonderful community. Definitely affordable.
Business setup.
So so
credit
definitely.
Repair.
Yeah, definitely.
Digital product. Our rights.
Yeah, definitely. And so I assume there's monthly, weekly coaching calls. Or?
Yeah, every Sunday at 7. Wait a minute, hold on. Every Sunday at 7:00.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to move it to 6:30 because I do an opportunity call at 7:30 on Sundays. But for right now, it's at 7:00. Okay. It's 30 minutes, and it's quick, guys. You don't want to be late because once I go in. I don't wait for you to get on the call. Okay. I get started immediately because the people who early, I know they're ready to win. Yeah. So I get started, and by the time you get on 10 minutes later, you don't miss the whole bunch of stuff you could have gotten for actually free. But it's every Thursday, 7:00, and every Sunday at 7:00. And, we go in.
Okay.
I encourage people to get on because I can't even believe I go live in the community twice a month, and that's Q&A.
Okay. Yeah.
So after they made their book and all that other stuff, and they might be, sure I'll come in and answer the questions and live into my community.
Okay.
So even him giving that free coaching call is crazy, and he even let you invite your friends.
Oh, okay.
If you even want to be a part of it.
Want to be like a free trial
Yeah,
basis.
the calls are open. It's free to every entrepreneur. There ain't no cost to get on those calls.
Right. Okay. Do you host virtual or in-person events at this time?
Well, we do right now. We doing a live event. I think in Ohio in August. It'll be our first live event. Okay. But right now we promote so heavy. we don't have time to do a live event right now. Probably won't be until another 8 to 9 to 12 months.
We'll do a mastermind real soon, at
Yeah.
least online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
masterminds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you definitely gonna have a great turnout for mastermind.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about some of what areas do you want to grow in right now as far as Bulletproof Entrepreneurs?
Well,
Something you looking for expansion, maybe coming up in maybe not this year or 2026.
yeah, definitely. We want to expand it even more. Right now, I would like for it to grow to at least 5,000 in the community within 12 months.
What numbers you at now?
I think
Currently?
we just started it. We haven't even.
50.
Yeah, we just
Okay.
in like a week or two to 50 new members, but that grows over the
That's
course
still
of
good.
time.
Right. Okay.
But the way we market and promoting right now, it will be there. I did network marketing for years. I know how to market and promote. I know how to build a team fast.
Right.
And so I think within 36 months, I would like the group to be at 25,000 people, and I would like us to do a live event once a year with 5 to 10,000 people.
Yeah, I see that. We
Yeah.
claiming it today.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes,
We
to
definitely
help,
claiming it.
10
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurs become six-figure earners by the end of the year.
Mhm.
So I'm already at number 3.
Okay.
So I got 8.
Okay.
No, 7. I know it can happen. So
Yeah.
that's one of my things. And to also
Okay.
touch the territory of, I moved to Houston 5 years ago, and I've been on the road, but I want to get more into the community down there. So
Yes.
that's out of my comfort zone. So that's
Right.
something I want to push myself into.
Okay. As far as female entrepreneurship, I want to talk about that because I know you host a lot of one-on-one coaching and consulting with women entrepreneurs. Just tell us about your success story with that. You just kind of just touched on it. Just tell us some of the success stories from the women entrepreneurs you've helped to scale or grow their business.
Again, they got to get out of their mind. It's one of the things. But once I feel like females get out of their mind, they follow directions well. I work with guys, but I do also know, and that's another reason why I teamed up, it's sometimes hard for men to take from a woman. You know what I'm saying? If it's not just, cheering you on, motherly, that type of stuff. So,
Right.
I even realize when I get a challenging person, I'll be like, oh, now you need money. And not that I don't want to deal with them, but I see that they'll turn it around. The next thing you know, I'm working for them. And I'm like, hold on, I'm the coach.
Right. So you've had that experience once or twice. Yeah. Right.
A lot, but I understand it too, so I don't I don't take it personal or anything like that. But female entrepreneurs, they follow the steps and they get to it once they make their mind up. I mean, some look for validation, and I've also went through that too. We look for validation from our person that we might be at home with, or our person that we trying to get acceptance from. And once you come out of all of that and understand who you are, what God called you to be, and you follow that, you will flourish.
Okay.
Which
Which businesses currently at this time that you see most people are going into? What are the most businesses that people trying to start right now that they call you about or they want to talk about, or is it more like I'm following the trend, or I want to go
Most
where
people
works
are
for me?
following the trend. Everybody wants to be a coach and mentor right now.
in group homes.
And
Group homes?
yeah.
Maybe it's where I'm from. A lot of people always ask me about group homes. I'm like, oh my, is that really what you want to do?
Right.
Yeah. I think that's more of a Ohio thing. But when you talk about big cities, people want to be they want to be a coach and mentor. And I tell everybody, you're not a coach and you're not a mentor because you don't know enough or have done enough to tell anybody anything. So you want to. It takes 10,000 hours to master anything in life. And if you one year you're doing this, the next year you're doing it.
Right.
What are you coaching on? You're just coaching on people on how to hop around. You got to really put the hours and the framework in to being that person. And a lot of people, I see them online and they coach and mentor. You may do a course or something with them. And I tell her all the time, I said, this person doesn't know anything.
But how can you tell?
I'm a coach and a mentor. So I understand. I come from good coaches and mentors.
So you know who just running game
I
and
know the
just,
people that's just talking, or
right, just
they
talk.
they
Right.
read a book, or whatever it is, and they regurgitate the information. But coaching and authenticity, it comes from right here. You can tell that this person been through it. You could tell that T. Anthony Money at one time was homeless, and he don't mind telling the story, and he could tell you how he overcame it, and you can feel it.
Right.
A person that's not a real person, or saying something real, you don't feel that from them.
Yeah.
You just feel like, okay, they telling me something, and then
How's it gonna help me?
yeah, it's not really helping the people. You just charge them $500 to talk about a bunch of nothing.
Right.
And so I just feel like, I tell people all the time, if even if you're watching this podcast, be careful of the information that you just take from anybody. This person has to be, verified. I'm not gonna give you $10,000 and I don't even know who you are. Unless, like, say, if my coach, I got my mentor, Dr. Nicola Smith Jackson out of Atlanta, I'll call her and say, hey, what's up with this person right here? Because I know she know everybody.
Okay.
And she'll tell me, what I'm saying, I don't know if that's a good, idea. What did you get from it? She always asks the question. She'll never put nobody down. But, because she loved me and she's protecting me, she's going to tell me, you don't need to go that route. So I got a wise counsel. Who are these people's wise counsel that they,
True. That's true.
that's how I know.
That's true.
That's how I know.
Let's
Hold on, one of my things. So I work with people. What I don't like in that space is when someone won't be transparent with you and say, I know what I know and I'm just getting started. So like how I said, I was in the healthcare.
Yeah, tell the truth.
One client said, okay, I can do this. So the transparency is saying, I'm gonna go all the way here with you, but you're my first person, so I'm not gonna charge you. I'm gonna charge you. I can't charge you based off the value I'm not gonna give.
Okay.
And then once all of that happened, then you understand when you put your time into something, this is how much this program is. There's a lot of people coming up with these, and I feel like $10,000 is the number that they coming up with. Everything is $10,000. You like, how you just got started last month?
Yeah.
And be transparent with that and say, this is my passion, this is what I want to do. I don't have enough accolades. Like my daughter that's taking pictures. Of course, we know the person who I go get professional pictures taken for her 2 headshots costs $400 to $500.
Okay.
She can't charge that.
Okay.
You got to get,
Yeah.
get the stuff behind you.
Yeah. You have to get the credibility.
Yeah.
Like you said, very important. Like you said, being authentic in yourself. You can tell when something organic and it's not.
Yeah, let's face it. I've invested a lot of money into some bullshit, right?
I got you.
Excuse my French, everybody, but that's exactly what it is. And and I may not know what you know, but if I'm trusting you as a so-called expert, then I start working with you, and I realize first you're very unprofessional.
Right.
When I ask you questions, because I am, a businessman, you get intimidated.
Right.
Or you just don't fulfill the promises that you told me you were going to do, and we got a contract. So at this point I could do two things. I can either end this contract with you and request a refund, or I could sue you.
Right.
Because I do have a contract and you have not fulfilled your obligations.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when I say, that kind of stuff right there, is really messing up the industry, because there's some real live, good coaches and mentors out there that's for real, but that is what gives that industry a bad name.
Let's kind of touch on image. I kind of want to be the devil's advocate a little bit about that,
Mm-hmm.
because I was, you see a lot of influencers,
Mm-hmm.
especially in this market, in front of the mansion, in front of the Rolls
We don't do that.
Like, they're not gonna sell you. People are not gonna believe what you're telling them about your business credit program if they don't see your success.
Well, it's some truth to that.
Let's kind of
I
let's.
understand.
It's some truth to that. I mean, a lot of people won't believe you.
Does image matter to black consumers more than?
I mean, is that an image or is it a facade? So you got to understand what an image is. Michael Jackson was an image. Beyonce is an image. You standing in front of a mansion of somebody who I don't know, how is that an image? It's a facade, because you're trying to do what Michael and Beyonce are doing. Right. So when I see people doing that and you're leading, like,
it's flooded on your timeline.
Like when I see that, and don't get me wrong, as black people in America, we like nice stuff.
The flash.
We like nice stuff, and there's no reason why a person shouldn't get what they want. If you work hard, you can go